going on, everyone? Today I'm doing a follow-up video to the audiobook recommendation series, which I've been posting for the past 3-ish years. I think in total I've shared around 20 to 30 different physical books or audiobooks. I mean, they always come in both versions, and I've actually done a giveaway as well on the last video, so 5th in the series. I'm not going to do a giveaway today, but I figure probably next recommendations list I'll do some sort of giveaway either for an audiobook or a physical hard copy. Because I love just getting the information out there to people that are interested in learning. So in today's recommendation list, I'm going to keep it relatively short, and I'd like to just say that I have been listening to audiobooks pretty regularly, even over the past 5 months. The last video I uploaded in the series was 5 months ago. So I have been listening to many different audiobooks, much of which are ones that have come out of the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were discovered, I believe, in the 50s or so in various caves. So basically those came out, and a lot of them, actually I'll put a link in the description below to the Wikipedia page. It lists all the Dead Sea Scrolls that were discovered. Many of them are religious in context, let's say, somewhat spiritual. I recommended some things from that in the previous videos in the series, such as the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, and I think there were some others, I don't really remember. But lately what I've been listening to and reading is a lot to do with those lost Dead Sea Scrolls. So I've listened to the Book of Enoch, the Book of Ezekiel, the Book of Jasher, the Book of Joshua, and it just keeps going on and on. Like there's many different religious texts which are just coming from the different perspectives of various peoples throughout different eras in history. So it's pretty interesting just to have those different reference points and then sort of compare them along the same timeline. And that's really what I like to stress about learning information in general. You don't just want to grab your information from one source, one opinion. You kind of want to get it from a multitude of opinions and a multitude of sources, and then bring it all together in your own light, and then have an understanding of all of what you've researched, as opposed to a lot of people will just delve down really deep into one topic. And I find that when that happens, they kind of block out all the other information that's around them, and you're not really getting a total picture, a total perspective of the knowledge and information, and you're not really acquiring wisdom the same way you would as if you were to take in everything and then devise your own understanding of it. So in my case, I like to do all of that, take in everything, devise my own understanding, and then I basically bring it forth and online and in YouTube and in all sorts of day-to-day realities. I basically bring that information forward, paraphrase it into my own words and terminologies, and then I just present that to various people, and obviously they'll then take that information and do the same, and just it goes and goes and goes. So that's the point of this series, to just continue to share information, to get it out there, and to have people delve deeper down into the various topics, but not necessarily just one topic in particular. So I like to spread things out a little bit. So in today's list, I'm only going to recommend 3 books. Actually, one of them isn't even a book, it's just a grouping of materials. So the first book in the list is the Avadhuta Gita, which is very similar to the Bhagavad Gita, and it is rooted in it's an Indian text. I don't really know how to quite summarize it. If you are familiar with the Bhagavad Gita, it's kind of like a lengthy tale, a little bit of a story. The Avadhuta Gita is much shorter, and it really focuses on personal growth and really helping one identify themselves with nature, that you are nature, you're one and the same. And it really helps bring this ideology together in this text. So I heavily recommend it. I posted up on the Facebook fan page a little while back, and then some people commented on it and was like, what the hell is this? Is this the same as the Bhagavad Gita? And I was like, very similar. There's actually a lot of different Gita texts which have come out of India and similar places, and they all have a very similar context to them as well. But again, different perspectives, right? So just like if you were to look at the Book of Joshua, the Book of Jasher, the Book of Jubilee, these are all similar, but different perspectives on the same sort of thing. So that's why I think you should spread yourself out, even in different cultures and in different parts of the world, where they grab that material and have an understanding of that as well. So don't just limit yourself to like a Western ideology or whatever else it may be. Spread yourself out. So that's number one. Number two, this is actually what I was just talking about before. It's not necessarily a book, it's a grouping of materials, and it's called the Seth material. The Seth material it has to do with an individual named Jane Roberts, who just randomly out of nowhere through a deep meditation was able to channel the energy or entity from another being, and basically she through this deep meditation channeled this information and just started speaking one day. So you can also actually look up Seth Speaks. And what this is this lady, Jane Roberts, I believe is in the 50s or 60s, she'll channel this entity, and then simply the entity will just speak through her. And, that stuff is a little bit lofty, let's say. It's not too backed by science, obviously, because how the hell can science verify or validate such actions, right, such activity? And a lot of people look for validity, and verification from science in these regards, but this is where I say you need to open yourself up and spread yourself out. Take in all the information, but don't necessarily prescribe to any one particular thing. You're just taking it for what it is, and I actually mentioned this in the last video, just letting it be. Just let it be and observe it from there, and then you can form an opinion of it from a different position, as opposed to an immediate judgment on what you're hearing and an immediate dismissal, such as like someone meditating and channeling a being and then that being speaking through them. Now, if you can get past that loftiness and actually listen to what's being said, the information presented, especially during the era in which it arose, it's far beyond its time. The information that flew through this woman, Jane Roberts, it's very similar to Dead Sea Scroll texts. It's very similar to ancient wisdom. It's just remarkable, some of the stuff that came through. And I've heard much of it before, and I've researched much of it before, but because it came in a different way and from a different context, I find that it opened up my mind to new areas of research within the topics I had already sort of investigated. And that's really cool, I find. If I can revisit something from a different light, it's amazing. That just means I can learn more from it. When you learn something and you've sort of passed it, you can always cycle back to it, because keep in mind that, let's say you read something last year. If you reread it again today, you're a different person today than you were a year ago. So you're going to come at that information differently, and you're going to process it differently, and it's just going to come into your space in a different way. So I always recommend going back and re-listening to things. Or in some cases, if it's an audiobook, listen to a different narrator, because they'll present it differently, and you'll process that information differently as well. So that's number two. It's called the Seth Materials, and it is, I guess you could say it's by Jane Roberts. That's the woman that channeled this entity, and it was actually her husband that helped write down the actual materials. So number three, and this isn't a book, but it's actually a little video on YouTube, and this I haven't so much just been listening to this in particular, but I've been listening to this genre for the most part. So number three is the Shiva Sutras in Sanskrit with English translation. And link in the description below to that YouTube video. I'll annotate the screen as well, because I'm pretty sure you can click that to get to the video. But this is actually a 28-minute video, and it's really just introducing some Shiva Sutras. Shiva is an Indian god, I guess you can say, and the sutras are done in Sanskrit. They come with English translation. Now, I've personally been taking it upon myself over the past, let's say, 3 to 5 months, since the last audiobook video in this series. I've been researching more and more into Sanskrit, and really just having an understanding of the meanings of certain Sanskrit sutras, and also the actual pronunciation and enunciation of certain Sanskrit words. Now, the reason I've been practicing this and trying to increase my knowledge in this area is because I believe that Sanskrit opens doors to certain realms of possibility that may not otherwise be opened to me. So I feel like this is the next step in my journey, is to take on and understand Sanskrit and then practice it, put it into practical application through sutras, mantras, chants, things like that. This a lot has to do with sound frequencies and manipulating reality via the use of sound, which is actually very common in ancient texts as well. So really I'm just taking a lot of the knowledge and wisdom which I've previously attained and acquired through research, and now I need to focus a little bit more on the practical application of the knowledge through the use of sound vibration, and that's where Sanskrit sort of is coming into play. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. Let me know what you think of this list, and comment down below if you want to see more of these types of videos. As always, I'll probably share more of the Sanskrit type of stuff with you later. Definitely check out the Dead Sea Scrolls. I know I've given you a lot of information in this video, but all the links are going to be in the description below, so have a look at those. And otherwise, thanks for watching, and I will see you again next time. Take care.